In episode 60, Implementing Responses with Governance, we focus on governing execution rather than creating paperwork. Governance is not bureaucracy. It is the structure that keeps decisions accountable, fast, and consistent under pressure. When risk responses activate, conditions are often urgent, data incomplete, and coordination complex. Governance provides the rails on which speed can run safely. It defines who acts, what authority they have, and how results are confirmed. Without this structure, even good mitigations stumble through confusion and second-guessing. The goal is to make governance the enabler of motion, not the anchor that slows it. The first step is to pre-approve authority and funding envelopes before response execution begins. Waiting for new signatures during a crisis wastes precious time. Each risk or risk family should have delegated decision levels, what cost, scope, or time adjustments an owner can authorize instantly. These limits must balance empowerment with control, allowing local leaders to move fast within boundaries while escalating only when thresholds are exceeded. Pre-approval transforms planning from theory into readiness. It signals trust in trained professionals to act while maintaining transparency through predefined limits. Define minimal documentation standards that preserve accountability without suffocating speed. In active mitigation, pages of forms achieve less than a concise record of decisions, triggers, and actions taken. The documentation goal is traceability, not decoration. A short entry noting who acted, what was done, and what condition triggered it can satisfy audit needs. Use structured templates, digital logs, checklists, or dashboards to capture essentials automatically. When governance emphasizes clarity over volume, teams keep momentum while still leaving a reliable trail. The motto is, enough to explain, not enough to delay. Gate reviews should align to risk thresholds, not arbitrary calendar dates. Each gate marks a point where exposure changes significantly or authority boundaries are crossed. For example, one gate might authorize moving from pilot mitigation to full deployment. Another might confirm residual exposure after execution. Linking gates to thresholds ensures that reviews occur when stakes justify them. This event-based rhythm protects agility. The team does not stop to review on schedule. They review when conditions demand oversight. Governance becomes a dynamic dialogue instead of a static ritual. Integrate response governance with existing change control processes to avoid conflict and duplication. Risk actions often alter scope, cost, or timeline, the same variables managed by change boards. Embedding risk governance inside these mechanisms ensures consistency. A change request that originates from a mitigation should carry its risk justification automatically. Likewise, change approvals should confirm updated exposure ratings. This integration prevents two parallel bureaucracies from colliding. It keeps one version of truth and reinforces that managing risk and managing change are part of the same system of control. Track progress against activation checklists to ensure discipline under stress. Each checklist defines essential steps for safe, complete implementation, notifications, system tests, documentation updates, and stakeholder confirmations. Tracking allows rapid verification that no critical step was skipped. Visual dashboards showing completion percentages keep everyone aligned. During fast-moving situations, these lists prevent oversight fatigue, the small but vital details that matter most after action begins. Checklists turn intention into executional rhythm, allowing teams to act fast while maintaining thoroughness. Resolve cross-team conflicts quickly through predefined escalation paths. When multiple groups implement simultaneous responses, priorities can collide. Operations may want to accelerate, while finance enforces spending caps. Governance must include a rapid conflict resolution channel, typically a standing coordination group empowered to arbitrate on short notice. Clear escalation rules ensure decisions move upward once and return downward with authority. Fast conflict resolution maintains coherence, keeps focus on shared goals, and prevents friction from stalling collective response. In governance, time is the scarcest resource. Decisiveness protects it. Maintain audit trails without slowing delivery. Every significant decision, approval, and result should leave a time-stamped record accessible to auditors, but the process should occur passively within existing tools. Automated logs in ticketing systems, version control histories, or meeting summaries satisfy oversight without extra forms. Transparency achieved through system design costs little. Governance should build auditability into the workflow so that compliance happens as a byproduct of normal work, not an afterthought once the urgency passes. For high-stakes actions, apply independent assurance. Independent reviewers, internal auditors, safety officers, or external experts verify that responses meet required standards and that execution aligns with intent. Their role is not to slow teams, but to add objectivity. Assurance is especially critical when mitigations involve public safety, large expenditures, or irreversible decisions. Independent eyes provide confidence that urgency has not eclipsed rigor. When structured properly, assurance functions as a safety margin within governance, a second line of defense that confirms integrity while action continues. Manage exceptions under time pressure with predefined rules. Sometimes a mitigation must diverge from plan because conditions shift faster than approval cycles allow. Exception handling protocols define how to proceed. Temporary authority extensions, rapid consult checklists, or short post-action reviews. The principle is act first within guidelines, explain immediately after. A transparent exception path prevents paralysis when decisions cannot wait while ensuring accountability remains intact. Exceptional circumstances require flexible discipline, a governance structure sturdy enough to bend without breaking. Confirm residual risk updates post-implementation. Once responses finish, teams must record new exposure levels, verify that assumptions hold, and note any secondary risks. Governance should require this verification as part of closure. Without it, success stories may mask unfinished vulnerability. Post-implementation reviews connect execution back to analysis, ensuring lessons flow both directions. The governing body should sign off only when evidence shows risk truly reduced and documentation reflects new baselines. Closure becomes certification, not ceremony. Capture lessons and improvement items from each governed activation. What worked, what caused delay, and what coordination issues surfaced. Use these findings to refine both the response library and the governance process itself. Lessons collected immediately after execution carry the freshest insights. Governance earns legitimacy when it learns faster than conditions change. Each activation becomes a rehearsal for the next, shortening future response times and improving confidence. Learning is the mechanism by which governance stays alive rather than ossified. Refresh governance structures after stress tests or major events. Rapid actions expose weak interfaces, ambiguous authority lines, or redundant reviews. Instead of defending the old model, examine what failed under load. Simplify where friction offered no value. Strengthen where oversight proved thin. Updating governance periodically prevents stagnation and keeps it proportionate to organizational maturity. A nimble governance system grows alongside the enterprise it protects, always calibrated to present reality, not past assumptions. Disciplined governance accelerates action by converting complexity into clarity. Pre-approved authority, streamlined documentation, event-based gates, and active learning make oversight the ally of execution. When governance and speed align, responses become predictable without being rigid, accountable without being slow. The result is a culture where people act confidently within boundaries they trust, where governance is not a brake on progress, but the structure that makes progress safe. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.